Good morning, Uday and Bhargav. Today is Thursday, November 9th, and here's the heads up brief for today. Today's production to our clients consisted of a total of 85 issues. We covered 42 issues in East Asia Pacific, 22 issues in South Asia, and 21 issues in the EMEA region. I will be briefing you on the major issues of today's production.
Hey, Bassel. Sure, let's discuss the major issues today. Thank you.
In East Asia Pacific, I'll be covering the top two of the 42 issues. In PNG, Morobe Provincial Governor Luther Wenge has requested Port Moresby's support to the province to be declared an autonomous region. A petition for the same was delivered to Prime Minister James Marape yesterday on the sidelines of the second Governors' Conference in Lae. According to the petition, Wenge has requested the redistribution of Morobe into 3 provinces to be governed under an autonomous regional government.
That's interesting, Bassel. Tell the team to find out more about the motivations behind this and tell them to also check on the developments regarding the autonomous region of Bougainville. That should also be coming up. So let's have a close eye on this. Thanks.
Okay, sure. In Indonesia, the Constitutional Court began the election process for a new chairman to replace Anwar Osman at the MK at 9 a.m. local time. Today, Usman's removal follows a violation of the Code of Ethics and Behavior for Judges. There is a possibility of gatherings in front of the Constitutional Court ahead of the announcement. Authorities will heighten security in the vicinity of the building in Jakarta in anticipation of tensions. We covered this as the major development in Southeast Asia today.
Okay, yeah, thanks. The Constitutional Court has picked a new judge. What we need to do, Bassel, tell the team to find out more about this new judge, his links to prominent politicians and factions in the Indonesian political elite. Yeah?
Sure, they will be monitoring
Thanks.
this. In South Asia, I'll be covering the top 2 of the 22 issues. In Bangladesh, a ready-made garment industry worker was killed and numerous others were injured during a clash with the police in Ghazipur, Dhaka division yesterday. Clashes broke out during a demonstration by the workers demanding higher wages and better working conditions. Demonstrations by the industry workers are likely to intensify across the country over the coming days until the government revises the minimum wages to an agreeable level. We covered this as the major development in South Asia today.
All right. So the issue is very much rooted in the working conditions and the pay rise, which has been a recurrent concern across Bangladesh. And this especially intensified after COVID, and Bangladesh hasn't been able to recover in terms of cost of living issues. And the issue seems to have intensified before the elections as the political parties have tried to mobilize across the board. Let's keep a close eye on how things evolve with the garment workers issue before the elections.
Yes, sure. We'll be keeping or monitoring this closely. In Pakistan, the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Nawaz Sharif is likely to visit Balochistan to forge an alliance with the Balochistan Awami Party in preparation for the upcoming elections. This move is part of Sharif's plan to secure a substantial number of seats in Sindh, Balochistan, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which he considers essential for forming the federal government following the forthcoming elections.
All right, that's interesting. Let's keep a close eye on what's happening across the political landscape in Pakistan, please.
Sure, Bhargav. In EMEA, I'll be covering the top 2 of the 21 issues. In Russia, the Kremlin yesterday said that Russia will challenge the confiscation of its frozen assets in the West. This comes after a U.S. Congress committee approved a bill authorizing Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to provide additional assistance to Ukraine using Russian assets. Western countries have frozen assets worth $300 billion from the Russian central bank. This comes as the U.S. has depleted 96% of its funds from the Ukraine assistance program issued by the Biden administration. Russia may confiscate Western assets in the country in retaliation. We conveyed this to our clients via an advisory message today.
Yes, the seizure of assets by the West is nothing short of holding a hostage in economic or wealth terms. And this is likely to backfire, and it has backfired at multiple stages. And probably the worst case scenario would be an isolation similar to that of Iran, where this will emanate into proxy wars across the region. Let's monitor the situation and see where things will go from here, Bassel. The seizure of wealth is a serious issue, and Russia and Russian oligarchs have humongous cash and assets in the West.
Yes, Bhargav. Lastly, here's an update on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Around 10,600 Palestinians and 1,600 Israelis have been killed. 26,500 Palestinians and 3,500 Israelis have been injured. Belgium's Deputy Prime Minister Petra de Sutter has called on the Belgian government to impose sanctions against Israel and investigate attacks against hospitals and refugee camps in Gaza. The Group of Seven yesterday called for pauses in fighting to enable the evacuation of civilians and distribution of aid. A spokesperson of the White House has said the US does not support the ceasefire because it will benefit Hamas at this point. Also, a US Air Force surveillance drone was shot down by the Houthi militant group over international waters in the Red Sea. We covered this as a major development in EMEA today. We also conveyed this to our clients via an advisory message.
All right, the West continues to do double speak. Some of the major economies in the West ask for ceasefire, while the big brother himself, the US, doesn't support ceasefire, but the president warns against occupation. So there seems to be a lack of consistency in their stance and divergence among the NATO partner members. So let's continue to support our clients across the region. Nothing further from my end on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhargav and Uday. That's it for today.